Hi, and welcome back to Pendermonium. Today in the shop, we're talking about sharpening chisels. But first, some important health and safety. Alcohol concentrations of greater than 60% have shown to be an effective control of COVID-19. That's why I always have Diggers violet methylated spirits in the shop. At over 95% ethanol, Diggers takes care of your health so you don't have to. Cheers, Diggers. Alright, well, with the chisel, you can see this one here has been pretty beat up. It's been used for a bit of demolition, and as a result you can see there's a big gouge out of it, the end's rounded over, and it's got a really jagged edge on it. You can see that little bit of light reflecting off the end. That's a sure sign that it's really blunt. So what we're going to do here, we're going to reset the angle on it, the bevel on it. So we're going to have 30 degrees between this back of the chisel here and the beveled face. And there's two ways. We're going to use the angle grinder for that. And we'll do it two ways. I'll show you both ways. One is setting it up by hand or doing it by hand, grinding the bevel by hand. And the other will be using the jig in the foreground there on the grinder. So we'll get set up and I'll show you what we're doing. Right, see that now? Got a nice square edge along the back, and then our bevel, is it focused? There we go. Runs all the way down from the back of the chisel, right to our point. We've eliminated that little burr that was on the ends. That's now nice and sharp. There we go, that's a better angle. The next method, we're going to use the jig, and this is just a little plate that registers our chisel and holds it at the right angle. Focus. And does exactly the same thing, and we keep dipping it in water for both the grinds to cool the blade down so we don't ruin the temper on it, ruin the hardness of it. Now the next step is to hone this edge, and we're going to do that by working through 3 successive grits. We've got starting at 240, 800 and then a 1500. And what we're going to do, you'll just see there's still get some grinding marks from being on the wheel, and we're just going to use the back of the chisel, and we're just going to ride it on this back edge here. It's out of focus now, and the front, and that's just going to put a nice little fine polished edge on that chisel. We're just going backwards, pulling the chisel towards you, and you sort of want to have your body locked more or less to keep that angle running on the same edge. Because if you rotate it, if you end up doing this when you pull, you're just going to round the edge off. Just want to sit on the back, bring it up so that edge is engaged, and that's enough. And we can see, you might be able to see, just there, you can just see we've started to polish that front edge, and that's all we're going for. And we just work down through the successive grits. can see now it's just that very tip, just getting a polished edge along there, and that's all we're after. And on the back I can just start to feel just a burr that catches my thumbnail, and that's perfect. It's now 1500. Again, bring it up so it's engaged. Sliding back, keeping your body locked. Probably actually need a rubber mat under this to stop it sliding, but that's alright. Again, you can just see a polished edge along that top. It's perfect. Now what we have here is a piece of leather, a bit of green chrome oxide on it, and that's just going to put our final polish on this. Give a few strops back like that, so it's called stropping. A couple on the back. You can see now that has got a real polish on it, and if we've done this properly, razor sharp. That's how you do it. Just on another note, if anyone's thinking about buying chisels, don't bother with these ones because I'll show you why. And this one's going straight in the bin. They're expensive, claim to be indestructible, and a broken chisel. Chisel and 2 bits ain't no good. So he's going straight in the bin, and you thought it was just that one, the whole set, absolutely useless. Now for the final test. If you thought Gillette was the best a man you could get, you haven't met a Pender. Today's show is brought to you by Digger's Violet Aftershave. Keeps my skin tough like a man should be.